Hello everyone and welcome back to another Hard Count podcast, and today we're going to be talking about Matthew Stafford and what his success with the Rams this season tells us about Tom Brady's career. Real quick though, before we get in the video, I just want to remind you guys to hit that subscribe button as it would really mean a lot to me. So thank you guys for that, and without further ado, let's get right into the video. So first of all, Tom Brady retired, and I just wanted to say congratulations to Tom Brady on an amazing career. He really played more of a role in my love of football over the years than really any other player has in NFL history. So congratulations to him. But on that note, considering his retirement, I thought it would be fitting to make a Brady video about his career. So earlier in the playoffs, we all know that Tom Brady failed to come back against the Rams and lost in the divisional round to them. And so now it's Super Bowl Sunday, and I've had some time to reflect on the game, and I have a few takeaways. The main one, focusing on Matthew Stafford and Tom Brady, and how this game relates to both of their careers. So, coming out of the game, there were two major narratives. The first being, Matthew Stafford finally breaks playoff narrative, moves on to the NFC Championship. The second being, Tom Brady comes up short in his second season with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, I think these two headlines, although short, tell me much more than they do at face value. So let's give some context for both. Matthew Stafford, since 2009, has played 12 seasons with the Detroit Lions, and in that time, he's never won the Super Bowl. He's never won a playoff game. So, as a result, many built theories about him not being able to win in the playoffs. He's not a clutch quarterback. He's such a talented quarterback, but he's just not built for the playoffs. He can't get it done when it matters most. And just last offseason, Matthew Stafford was traded to the Rams. And in his first season, here he is in the Super Bowl. And he's played a tremendous season to go along with that. So that's the backstory with Matthew Stafford. Now what about Tom Brady? Well, we know Tom Brady's story. He's won so much over the past 2 decades in New England alongside Bill Belichick until recently he decided to make the move to Tampa Bay, where he won a Super Bowl in his first year as a starter, until now, where he just got eliminated in the second round of the playoffs by Matthew Stafford's Rams. Now, where am I going with this? Well, up until this season, Matthew Stafford, for the entirety of his career, has gone into 90% of games and every playoff game outcoached and less talented than his opposition. Game in, game out, Matthew Stafford was forced to overcome. And a lot of time, he did. But when he couldn't, the blame was placed on him. Matthew Stafford apparently couldn't be a winner and couldn't be a great quarterback because he couldn't constantly overcome huge deficits in talent and coaching against other teams. And people will say things like, you just need a win to be a great quarterback, plain and simple. If you've been there so long, if you were truly so great, you would have won something by now, right? You would have done something. Well, would you look at where we are now? Matthew Stafford is in the Super Bowl in his first season with the Rams. And now, all of a sudden, the narrative has gone away. Is Matthew Stafford really any different than he has been for the past 12 years? Did his game just magically change? Did Matthew Stafford all of a sudden become some non-playoff choker? Did he all of a sudden just develop this winning gene? Or did he just go to a team with a Super Bowl winning supporting cast, where he wasn't forced to overcome game in, game out? A player narrative was changed not because of the player, but because of the team. You tell me, does that make any sense? We have placed a false narrative on Matthew Stafford for 12 years, his entire career, just because of the players and the coaches around him. Disgraceful. Now, Spencer, what does this have to do with Tom Brady? Well, to me, Tom Brady is another player we have misjudged by the players and the coaches around him. This weekend, for maybe the first time in his career, we saw Tom Brady go into a game dealing with something that so many all-time greats have had to deal with for years. Going into a game out-coached and less talented and still having to overcome. And he failed to do so. Tom Brady has been able to accomplish the things he has been able to accomplish because of his teammates and his coaches. He, for 20 years in New England, had consistently top defenses in the league, consistently great offensive lines, consistently the best coach in the NFL, and consistently one of the best offensive coordinators in football. Tom Brady has never had to overcome his situation the same way that certain guys like Aaron Rodgers or Drew Brees or even Matthew Stafford have. In the divisional round, we saw him put into a place where he needed to overcome his surroundings. He was missing his number 2 wide receiver. His defense wasn't at full strength. He was playing against a team with superior talent. And he lost. And without a few fluky plays at the end of the game, it wouldn't have been close. When Tom Brady was not given the talent advantage and his team was outcoached, things didn't go so smoothly. So that makes you think, if Tom Brady didn't have those impossibly rare and stable coaching and talent advantages over his 20-year career, would we really be viewing him as the same guy we do now? I'm not so sure we would. So my point here isn't that Tom Brady isn't great. My point is not that Tom Brady did not contribute to winning the Super Bowls that he won. But my point is that we, just like we have done with Matthew Stafford, are writing a player narrative based on the team he is on, which, as we have already established with Matthew Stafford, is inherently incorrect and unfair. So, Matthew Stafford's success with the Rams reminds us of the importance a quarterback's supporting cast plays in their own success. So I think it's time we reflect on Brady's career and rethink some things. We as a community cannot get stuck writing a player's narrative based on those around him. And in doing so, we come to realize that Tom Brady is not as special of a player as so many of us have come to believe.